Then what makes effect learning effective? Means only listening. There are some questions for effective learning. I'm asking now. Which one makes learning effective? First one, if you take only listening and watching. Second one, listening, watching, actions. So if you know that if we listen, we can remember little bit. If we listen and watch, we can remember some more little bit. If we listen, watch, and act, we can remember a lot. That is effective experiential learning, we know. So uh, from these three things we can learn effectively with the third case. That means if we listen we can forget some maximum. If we listen and watch we can remember of. If we listen, watch, and act, we can remember a maximum. So what our answer will be the third one, I think. So the learning to become effective, we should make the students to learn in a experiential way of learning, experiential method. So in a way of experiential method of learning, so we should provide us some maximum information with the relevant content using the required TLM and with proper teaching approaches and teaching methods. So that is, already we have discussed in experiential learning and teaching. So with this we can got the idea that learning effectiveness depends upon the effective teacher, that is effective teaching. That means we have to provide the learning experiences practically, experimentally, and that means that should be very direct to the students. Then what are the learning resources we will learn now? Then what is the general definition of learning resources? If you see, look at a general definitions given by so many experts, we can define like this: anything, person, material, situation, experience which facilitates students learning is called a learning resource. So whatever thing, either it is person, that means person means maybe to student or the teacher. Material, that means teaching learning material. The situation, whatever the situation may be in the school, college, or at home, that is experience. What if experiences with the persons and the situations, this called experiences. So the anything which facilitates the students learning is called learning resources. This is a general definition we can say. And this what may be used to teachers, it may be used by teachers or students. The learning experience may be used by the teachers as well as by the student. In some cases we may both, we means here the teacher and the learner both can use these learning resources during the instruction to maximize the learning. So the learning resources makes the students participate actively, and it motivates to involve in the topic to learn effectively. So the learning resources which makes the students to involve actively in the learning process is also called learning resources. In other way we can define the resources which makes the students to participate or involve actively to in the learning situation is also called learning resources. So the learning resource we can define, in other words, the process which maximizes the participation of the students in the learning and teaching process is also called learning resources. So we can define, in other words, the resource which tries to bridge the new and the prior knowledge is also called learning resources. In other ways we can define, in so many ways we can define the learning resources word. So finally we can define the learning resources in word words. The resource or whatever it may be which enables the students or which stimulates the students or which motivates the students or which involves the students in the learning process to learn the things with a interest are called learning resource. So in many ways we can define, or some other persons also discuss defined in the learning resources in other way, like this: learning resources are the materials used by the classroom teacher to supplement instruction or stimulate interest of the learners. So this is, we have discussed already about these definitions. And one more thing also they have discussed, this thing is, this includes learning situation as well as the learning materials. So this is about the definitions or the concept of learning resources. So how can we categorize, then how many types of learning resources are there, we will discuss. If you go for the types of learning resources, we can categorize as follows: on the basis of the availability or the location, means whatever the location is may be, and whatever the availability, based on the availability and the location, we can classify the learning resources as four categories. Within the classroom, first one. Second one is library of the school or school premises and classroom. So based on the availability and the location, we can categorize the learning resources into four categories. First one, within the classroom; second one, library; third one, school; fourth one, community. And if you go to the other categorization on the basis of print nature, means some will be printed and some won't be printed. So if you go the categorization on the basis of the print nature, we can categorize into two categories. One is print learning resources, we can, the second one, the non-print learning resources. Means print means textbook, all these things. Non-print means OSP, slide projector, some other resources, TLM, which we use. And if you go on the dimensions of the learning resources, means that we can categorize into three categories. First one is unidimensional, which has a one direction only. Second one is two-dimensional, actually there is 2D, and three-dimensional means 3D. So we can categorize the learning resources depends upon the nature of their availability and dimensions and print nature into the three categories. And according to the famous and scientists, there will be a good definition by the Albert Einstein regarding the learning resource. He defined the learning resource term based on the classroom. So this is a good definition given by the Albert Einstein. Just we look at this great definition given by Albert Einstein. See, I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. So just the things which motivates our the students to learn without teaching is called learning resources. Means classroom becomes a good learning resource according to each definition. In the classroom, we have to promote the, or we have to inspire or motivate the students to learn by their own according to each definition. This is a good definition given by Albert Einstein. We should remember it when we have to quote when we are writing the theory part.